I'm happy that The Sims went ahead and cleared this up. It's like, who are you to tell somebody that they can't make money off their art? Not everybody wants to sit in a boring office and work their life away. Like, there are people who are like, they are just in shambles because these people won't release content. It's so wild to me that there are players out there that would be willing to spend that much money for custom content. You know, I've been seeing it circulate on the internet and I've been trying not to say anything, but I'm just go ahead and say it. Hey everyone, it's Bree. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video, and we're going to be reacting to Sims team officially updates policy on mods in CC, but here's the issue. And so it looks like early access is not banned. From what I have seen online, it looks like early access has been confirmed to be okay, which I'm actually really happy about. I'm sure if you guys are watching this video, you might have seen my last couple videos on this topic, and if you haven't, make sure you go check them out. But as I said in my previous videos, I think that it was kind of, crappy to do that out of nowhere, especially for the people that do rely on it for, bills and stuff. And I just really didn't like how the internet was handling this. I just felt like, both sides got very mean and nasty to each other at some point, and it just was really disheartening to see people just be so mean and to be so celebratory of people's downfall. And the thing too, like, that's just crazy to me is that in 2022 we still have an issue with seeing people's worth when it comes to creators, and that's just across the board. Like, when it comes to content creators, so like your YouTubers and Twitch streamers, and now you have custom people who make custom content and mods, but also just in any form of art, like even like painters and digital artists and what was the other one? Musical artists. Like, when it comes to just any type of art form, people have a hard time seeing the worth in people's art, and people love to sit here and I don't know. I feel like when it comes to art, any type of art or any type of content creation, people really have the audacity. They have the audacity to tell people what they're worth, and I feel like a lot of times you'll see people like not wanting others to get paid for that, or they could care less if they make the money that they want to make from what they do. And it just was really disheartening to see people just say like, oh, well, now you can get a real job, and you should have never made money from this in the first place. And it's like, who are you to tell somebody that they can't make money off their art? Yes, making money from mods isn't really a thing with other game franchises, and yes, I can see that. And it should be a hobby, and it should be something that you're passionate about, even if you don't get paid for it. But it's also really nice for people to get paid for their work, even if it is them modding or creating content for a video game that's, already been established. Like, I don't know, like, I just don't see the issue with that. I think it's a blessing when you can turn your hobby into something, tangible, and something that you can make money off of. I mean, hey, that's what I'm trying to do now, with this. But there's still people with this outdated mindset that doing stuff like this isn't a real job, and it isn't worth getting paid, and that everybody needs to work a 9-to-5 and get a real job. I saw that so much on the internet of like, oh, well, whoop-de-doo, you gotta get a real job like everybody else. Not everybody wants to sit in a boring office and work their life away. I feel like if you can make money and do stuff with a game, with a franchise that you love, I feel like that's a blessing, and you shouldn't want to take that away from somebody just because you had to be stuck at your miserable job. But anyway, I'm not gonna make this video 20 minutes long. We're gonna hop right into the video.
Alright guys, it looks like the saga continues. I don't know what that EA chat support was talking about when they confirmed to Simmers, sorry, no more early access for mods, because
Yeah.
it clearly isn't the case after a...
And just real quick on that, sorry. Just real quick on that too, right? So the whole thing, right, is that it was confirmed because some EA support people had confirmed through help chats that that early access was no longer allowed. And so when you have people that literally work for the company telling you definitively that it's no longer allowed, I feel like for most people it's like, okay, that's a confirmation. However, because it wasn't officially on their website, a lot of custom content creators, they had decided for themselves that that wasn't enough and that wasn't substantial enough evidence to say whether or not it was actually banned. And so a lot of them decided to wait on an official statement, and they decided to continue with the early access until they got like an actual formal statement from them. And a lot of people got upset. Granted, I personally just felt like that just wasn't the way to go. I just feel like I don't know, when it comes to the law and legal stuff and people getting sued, I personally just don't play around with that. And so for me, I just would have played it safe and just made everything free. But I do also understand wanting to wait, especially if again your income is dependent on this. But also too, it's like, I don't know, because the people that I saw say that they wanted to wait and see, then just do that. I think them adding on, oh, but I'm still going to charge y'all for content, I think that's where people had the issue. It's like, you see these screenshots of people saying that it's not allowed. Why would you still play around and still try to charge people? And so I understood both sides from that. But also, it's crazy now seeing this, that they might have been right for waiting, because now you can see early access is still okay. And so they might have did the right thing by waiting. But I think what pissed people off was them saying that, like, and there was multiple people that I saw saying this, but just seeing creators say like, well, I'm still gonna do it. And I think that's what made people upset. But I don't think there was anything wrong with waiting for an answer.
Statement we just received from the official Sims team on the official Sims account, which I would definitely believe over EA support. But still, you would think that if EA support maybe didn't know or wasn't sure, they would just say, sorry, we cannot answer that question as we do not know. So,
which is true. I do think it was irresponsible of them to give people a definitive answer when they clearly did not know for sure, because apparently there were other messages too that people didn't screenshot, but there were other messages allegedly of some other support team people saying that they weren't sure. But also I saw I saw a lot of people give Pixelade and Sims community a lot of flack because they feel like they were the ones that were pushing the narrative and making it seem like things were confirmed when they weren't confirmed. But they're just reporting on news. I mean, listen, again, I know these two, they don't have the best reputation in the community, but they're just reporting on news. So
So I don't know why they were giving out incorrect information, but it's EA support, so it's just like, can we trust them? In a way, this actually makes me happy, because there were so many creators out there, most creators actually, that do follow the rules and do play it fair and work so hard for us, that I don't see a single thing wrong with having a reasonable early access period.
At all.
So Kalino tweets 23 hours ago, so what about the new terms for The Sims? No more early access for CC, did I understand that correct? And the official Sims team responds, great question. We've updated our mods frequently asked questions for The Sims 4 to clarify that all users must be able to access mods in full for free. However, creators may still run a reasonable early access period for their content. So it confirms that, yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy that The Sims went ahead and cleared this up. I'm so glad they did that, because again, this whole situation has been very vague. Still is pretty vague, but he's gonna get into that. and there just hasn't really been a lot of clear cut answers as to what's allowed and what's not allowed. And so I'm really, really happy that we got somewhat of a clearer understanding of what's allowed and what's not allowed, because I wasn't sure how long it was going to take them to answer that question and to address this issue. I honestly thought this was just going to be something that just was going to go under the radar and that they were never going to address and that they were never going to update. So I'm really, really happy that they went ahead and put this to rest.
Yes, early access is okay, but it also does not confirm how long is reasonable, because that's going to be stretched very far for some of these perma paywall people. They're going to be doing 2, 3, 4, 5 months early access and then claim that that is their definition of reasonable. So I think that the Sims team needs to update this or make another tweet clarifying exactly what they mean by reasonable, giving us a window, maybe 2 to 4 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks, 1 to 3 weeks, something like that sounds great. But just putting the word reasonable still leaves gray area.
And that's the problem with this. That's what, makes it still very vague, because they just said reasonable. They didn't give any numbers. They didn't give any concrete window of what is deemed as what's deemed as reasonable. And so it still gives room for people to abuse the system and still lock their content for months and months and months and maybe even years. Which, I think I don't know. Like, because now I'm starting to wonder, like, can they do that? I'm sure they can. Like, it's their games, their policy. So I'm sure they can set whatever policy that they want. Maybe they're still trying to figure it out. Maybe they're in talks right now, trying to decide what is the best window for early access. So hopefully at some point in the near future we get a more clear and concrete answer as to what is a reasonable early access period
there, and that leaves a lot of room for more creators to unfortunately abuse this to try to milk out as much coin as possible. So they have updated this here. It now says, note, The Sims recognizes that creating mods takes time and resources. To recoup these development costs, mod developers may offer an early access incentive for a reasonable amount of time. After a reasonable early access period, all users must be able to access the mods in full for free, regardless of whether they donate. Interesting. I wonder why they didn't go ahead and give us a window, a time frame for the creators to follow, because that is definitely going to be abused, unfortunately. This is amazing for those that have followed the rules, because they're probably still gonna do the 2 to 3 weeks early thing like they always have. Again, the issue here is with those who abuse the system or perma paywall, they're gonna keep these things locked for months.
But I'm sorry, like, and this might be an unpopular opinion, so my apologies, but a part of me is just like, who cares? In the sense of, like, if people are keeping their content locked for months or whatever, like, I'll just speak for me. I don't support those people. Like, anyway, like even some of these creators who have sat here and deleted their content, which, by the way, I hope they feel like crap right now. The ones who were so upset that they couldn't make money or they couldn't require money to get their CC, the ones that sat there and wiped their whole Patreon clean, I hope they're happy, because had they just waited a little bit or, didn't become, money hungry, they could have, waited, saw that this was still a thing, and they could have kept their content up. But instead, they jumped the gun, they deleted all their stuff, and now they're going to start all over from scratch. So I hope they're happy. But anyway, for me, right, all of these content creators that, either wipe their Patreon clean or, are just, charging an insane amount of money for their content, I don't support them anyway. And so it didn't affect me one way or the other. The content creators that I support, they weren't even on that energy, and so nothing got affected for me. Like, I still have access to all the content that I had previously, and because again, I follow and I support people that follow the rules. Like, and I'm not trying to victim blame. I'm not, like, these people that are perma paywalling, they're wrong. They are wrong for doing that. They're wrong for keeping their content locked. But also, I would never be that pressed. Like, there are people who are like, they are just in shambles because these people won't release content. And it's like, why do you want their content that bad? Like, and I've been seeing it circulate on the internet, and I've been trying not to say anything, but I'm just go ahead and say it. There is this Patreon that makes custom cars. I believe hold on. I'm gonna, cuz I'm gonna just say it, cuz they're the most accurate example. Okay. So the Patreon is Sims 4 Cars / Breeze Motors. Their tiers are insane. And I talked about this in the last video. Their tiers are literally like $30 to $50 a month for decorative cars. Now, I will give them their credit. The cars that they make are very, very, very detailed. They're very well made. It's literally as if you saw a car in real life and they detail by detail made it into a Sims 4 version to put into your game. However, we all know that the cars and the Sims 4 aren't a thing. They don't work. It's literally just, it's decorative. You can't even use the car. You can't even interact with the car at all. It's just decoration. And this man or woman, I'm just gonna assume male. Actually, no, I'm not gonna assume, because he or she, they, they're charging this amount of money for decorative items. And for me, it's like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, there's no way I'm ever subscribing to this Patreon ever. And that's just how I treat these situations. If you're someone that abuses the system and doesn't, release content to the public when you should, you're never getting my money. And so it's so wild to me that there are players out there that would be willing to spend that much money for custom content. Like, is it that serious? Like, you want their content that bad that you're willing to pay that much money for it. Like, that just, it's wild to me. And so when I see people on the internet, like, whining and crying because these people won't release their content, I just say screw them. Like, sorry, why would you want to support them anyway? Like, why would you ever want to give them your money anyway? Why would you even want to download their content? Like, to me, it's just not worth it. And so I don't know. It's weird to see people so pressed to be like, please unlock your stuff. There's so much good free CC out there. Forget about them. Don't support them. Like, it's okay. I promise you there is something else out there that is free and that's not going to be locked behind a paywall. I promise.
And then claim that that's what they think is reasonable, because that can definitely be stretched in so many ways. Let me know what you guys think about all this below.
I did. I definitely did. But yeah, it's but I am happy. I'm happy that early access is still a thing. I know that makes a lot of people happy and at ease and calm about the situation now, because again, everybody was just irate about this whole situation. I know it makes me happy. Because again, like, not that I want to, force money out of people or anything like that, but I was also looking forward to making a little side pocket change for making custom content. And so I literally started working on something last night, because I'm like, great, I can, go ahead and start that back up and, start doing I think the custom content I'm working on now, I'm gonna just do a week early access for that, and then everything else moving forward will be 2 weeks. And so yeah, if you want to check out my Patreon, it's Simmer Bree. So go ahead and check that out if you want some custom content and some pre-made Sims that I made that also includes the CC as well. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm glad about this. I'm not happy that it's still vague. But hopefully maybe they'll come to some type of agreement and they can figure that out. Again, shame on the people that do hide their content permanently, but forget them. Like, just stop supporting them, stop giving them your money. It's not worth it. And so yeah, I I don't know. But anyway, let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. Let me know if you're happy about early access being allowed, or if you're one of the people that's like, I'm not really here for this. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.